Hey, it's me, Seth Perler. I wear a lot of hats in the executive function world, the neurodiversity, ADHD, ASD worlds. And I got a question from a parent that says, what if I, as the parent, also struggle with aspects of executive functioning? Now, I'm going to give you a real answer for this, but I want to share some other things that I've heard from some other people. So these are some similar questions, and I get endless questions similar to this. It's just people saying the same question in different ways. Check it out. How can I help ADHD kids if I'm ADHD myself? Do I recommend the exact same strategies for adults? Can a 54-year-old with executive function challenges use your tools despite their age? I hope you spend more time helping with late diagnosed adults. Can your work be applied to adults who struggle with executive function? So these are all other questions that really are asking the same sorts of things. So there are a few things that I want to mention here. Number one, I think I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There are 7 things that I want to mention here. 1, some of the good news. You, as the adult with ADHD, have actually learned tons of compensatory strategies. You have probably learned them the hard way, but you have figured out, at least somewhat, how to manage your life. And all of those things, all of those compensatory strategies, all of those ways that you figured out how you're going to get the bills paid or get the chores done or get the things done that you don't feel like doing, how you have learned to use your executive function to get important things done despite your own resistance to not wanting to do that. Every single thing that you've done, whether or not you call it a strategy and give it a fancy name, like I try to give things fancy names, like the SNO and the SSS and all these models I make up, you've got your own. You have created your own workarounds and compensatory strategies and tricks and accountability tools and people who help you to get things done and ways that you hold yourself accountable. You have come up with so many of your own. So the reason I'm saying this is because when you stop and look back and say, what do I do? What have I struggled with that I figured out workarounds, and acknowledge, wow, think back to when you were figuring that out and how long it probably took you to figure it out. I know these things have taken me a long time to figure out. Well, think back to how you did that. You created a strategy. Now, the good news is that you, as the parent or ADHD teacher or coach or whatever, you have a strategy. You can think about it really carefully and think, how does that work? And you can now teach and share and model this for your kid and help them to build their own customized strategies. I use the term Frankenstudy in my work. Again, just a thing I made up based on a guitar called Frankenstrat and yada yada. But you have come up with your own customized, personalized, Frankenstein strategies. And what I want to do is be helping kids make their own strategies. Ultimately, I have structures for them, but ultimately the best thing I can ever do is help them, give them training wheels to make their own. Okay. Number 2 out of the 7 is the modeling your strategies, which I think I already alluded to, but is that when you model using your strategies, and there's something that teachers often do called a think aloud, but when you can think aloud and just model and walk through your day and in front of your child, just say what you're doing. Okay, I'm going to put this over on this pile on the counter. This is my pile where I do this. And you're not even talking to your kid. You're just modeling. You're thinking aloud what strategy you're doing. That models so powerfully for them. The modeling is so powerful. I can't say enough about it. So that's number 2. Number 3, depending on the age of your kid and the willingness of your kid, but co-working together to problem solve. So when you are the adult and you're like, how do I, as an ADHD adult, help my kid? Well, co-working together. So you asking them, can you help me with this problem? Can you help me figure out a way to manage this and to organize this and to plan this and to use my executive function better and problem solve with them and help them with theirs? So this co-working concept, not only does it help model and help them create their own Frankenstudied strategies, but it also inherently builds the relationship with, which is the most important thing. The next thing in terms of how do we do this if we're struggling as adults and we're trying to help them, well, relax, meaning have fun with it. Make it playful. Laugh at yourself. And I know many of us have inner critics that are screaming at us, that are so loud. But part of our work as adults is getting those inner critics to quiet down. Again, when we do this for ourselves, it's even modeling it for our kids, even if they don't even know we're doing it. Something changes in our tone and our temperament, and they feel it. But have fun. Make fun of yourself. Like, how serious is it? And that is, okay, the next one is to own it and model that, meaning to, a lot of us have imposter syndrome. And as the adult or the parent or the coach or the teacher, we can even have imposter syndrome with our kids and act like, we don't want them to see that we have these struggles. Well, I do this all the time in my work with kids is I own it. And I'm like, yeah, I struggle with that too. Oh my gosh, it's so frustrating and so hard. Do you want to hear what I do? But owning it and saying, yeah, it's really challenging for me. And then the next one, I have two more for you, is to declutter for real. Like if you're an adult trying to help your kid or your teacher or coach or whatever, like really going through your own process. I'm very into minimalism, and there's a book called Essentialism that I love. Philosophically, I like how he frames it, but either way, to me, clutter, whether it's digital or physical clutter, gets in the way of what matters most in life. So really taking time to declutter, making it a big priority in life, to me is that whole process. You get so much out of that will help your kid also in so many ways. It just has a big snowball effect. And then the last thing. It's important to me that we take stock of what's most important in our life, what matters. Life is a blip. Maybe we don't know if we have tomorrow. We don't know if we have 10 years, 20 years, 50 years, 80 years. We don't know how, but every day is so precious. Life is so precious. Imagine this, where my brain goes, but we have 16 waking hours a day. Where do I want to put my intention in those 16 hours? What do I want to be doing? What are the most important things that matter, that give purpose, that really I value? And how do we do that? So to really sit down and ask yourself that when it comes to saying, I struggle with this stuff. How do I help my kid? Getting really clear on the values and taking time for it, journaling about it, writing about it, doing vision boards if you're willing to do that, which I think they're pretty cool. But talking to people about it, but getting very, very, very clear on what matters, where you really want to be spending your time and energy in this lifetime, really helps to doing that. Then sort of helps us reverse engineer how we can help our kids, even though we have the same challenges, because we're focused on what matters most, and we're spending more time in that focus. Hope that helps you. My name is Seth Perler with SethPerler.com. If you like this video, please share it. I put my heart and soul into serving the world in this way, and it's free, and I put it out there. If this helped you, please share it with somebody. That will help me. And if you like it, give it a like. That helps me as well. And leave a comment below. What do you think? I know that those of you watching this who struggle with executive function have strategies that you're already using. What do you do that works? Help us. Give us some of your cool ideas and share it below, or share any of your comments below. Take care. You can check me out again at SethPerler.com, ExecutiveFunctionSummit.com if you're a parent or a teacher. The summit's coming up soon. And Executive Function Lab if you're a parent and you want a community that I lead and to be with supportive people. Join us. All right. Take care.